Okay, hi folks, I'm back. Right, this video is about the Panasonic GH6 or Panasonic Lumix GH6, whatever you want to call it. Now this camera is a bit left field from previous cameras because it's a micro four thirds or micro four thirds camera, mirrorless camera. Some people call it micro four turds. Yes, I essentially bought this camera not for photography but for video, and all these photos in here that you'll be seeing were taken on the same very long walk I took to shoot little video clips, because I'm learning about the camera and the video settings and video editing, and basically I want to start doing more sort of cinematic video clips on here as part of a personal project I'm doing about the area where I live. Now, I should say I've already had one nice little discovery about, well, I say nice, it's ironic, one nice little discovery about the video settings on the camera. I set it to the Cinema 4K format, MOV video format, and of course I can't look at the files on my computer because I don't have the right software to view it, let alone edit it. So yeah, that was very annoying, having all those lovely clips from this walk that I essentially can't even look at, let alone edit, which is very annoying because I can't afford Adobe Premiere at the moment. So if I could afford it, then yeah, I'd be able to edit them, but I can't. So annoying. So I've had to lower down the quality settings away from Cinema 4K to just normal 4K, which will be fine. I'll just have to go out and do it again, which is a bit annoying, but never mind. Anyway, I also took some photos because I wanted to see what the photo capability of the camera was. Now I should say everything was shot on a 24mm m42 lens, adapted through a EF speed booster. So it was Viltrox Mark II M43 micro four thirds EF adapter, and then I put my EF M42 to EF adapter on that, and so 24mm is essentially 35mm, I think, roughly speaking, which is not too wide but not too narrow. And yeah, I mean, I like the black and white image of the bricks and the box and the old plastic jar and whatnot. I will say that actually came out quite nice. This is my second flirting with micro four thirds. The first one being the original G9, and I'm experiencing the same kind of problems I had with that, which is focus. Now I used manual focus, I used focus peaking, and of course focus peaking is basically contrast detect. It's contrast, uses contrast, and I found a lot of the shots, now it might be the adapter itself softening the image up a little bit with these lenses because it's an adapter on an adapter. So it may be that when I put my 17 to 40 f4 EF lens on it, I won't experience the same softness. But I did find the images were slightly soft when you pixel peep. They weren't quite as sharp as they would be. Now a couple of these images were shot on a different day, and they were shot with my 17 to 40 f4 EF lens, and they do look sharper, which makes me think that it's literally just the adapter on an adapter, which is a little annoying because I've got all this. I mean, I do have ones that don't have the bit of glass in, so I might retry with that next time. A K&F Concept micro four thirds adapter, I might just try it with that instead and see if that fixes the softness. So the photos you're seeing are the ones that I found were the closest focus, so they look like they're in focus when you see the full picture. It's only when you pixel peep you see that they're slightly off. The only times I found it to be nice and sharp will be the cat photos because she was quite close. Anything which is shot quite close, the seems to be fine, but as soon as you start to try and shoot more far away stuff or wider sort of scenes, it just didn't work. Now that, like I said, that might just be the having an adapter on an adapter. So when I go back out next time to shoot video, I'm going to use the 17-40, and I will take some photos with that as well. I've got a variable ND filter that I can stick on the end of that as well, so I don't blow out the highlights in the video, because that's the other thing I found. I had to step down the lens a lot for video. Yes, that is the other thing. That's the reason there's not more photos in here. This will focus, and I saw in a few of them the highlights got really blown out, so the dynamic range of the sensor isn't as good as I thought it would be. I mean, especially considering I had that Sony RX or whatever it was, the little compact 20 megapixel camera with even smaller sensor, and I didn't really blow out the highlights on that often. So yeah, but I think next time I'll have to use exposure compensation as well, make everything darker and then just pull it up, because it's obviously that's the way I'm going to have to go. Use, thinking in hindsight, why didn't I use that? But yes, okay, let's get on to the usability. Okay, so I was constantly switching between video and photo, and unlike the more recent Fujis, it kept the same settings. So what I mean by the same settings, it kept the same profile. So if I wanted to shoot in Vlog, the video, and then I switched to photos are all in Vlog. So I've got these incredibly flat pictures. So yeah, that was a bit annoying. So I don't know. I'm gonna try the video out. I'm gonna go to the Cine-like. They've got two Cine-like profiles. I'm gonna experiment with them, and that will be reflected in the photos. But then they're raw photos, so I can just do what I like with them anyway. But yeah, usability wise, that was the main annoying bit. That and the focus peaking. But handling wise, camera handles is quite nice in the hands, very, very, very ergonomic. I would suggest, if you're going to buy one, or you're thinking of buying one, look at some videos on how to use it, because it's not the most user-friendly camera. You have to know what you're looking for. It took me ages to find out how to get rid of the enhanced manual focus blob in the middle, because that was really distracting when you try and every time you turn the focus ring, suddenly that pops up in the middle of the picture and you're like, oh god, what I can't see what I'm looking at properly now. So that was a bit annoying. Battery life is very, very good actually. I'm shocked. It uses the same battery as the full frame S5 II and S5 IIX. Yeah, it uses exactly the same battery as they do. It's quite a big chunky battery as well. And the IBIS, I'm really impressed with the IBIS. Now obviously I could only see when I was shooting video, I could only see on the screen of the camera, because it has a full screen thing like Fujifilm X-T4 and the R6 Canon R6 and R6 Mark II. But yeah, but I'm impressed with the IBIS. It's really, really good, even with a non-native lens and with no image stabilization in the lens itself. And that's down to, I think a lot of that's down to the actual sensor size, which is the reason why I bought this camera in the first place for video, because the image stabilization is supposed to be legendary on this. And yeah, I did want something that I could take some photos with as well, and it does have a high resolution mode, which I might use to digitize film, because I'm thinking about going back to using film a lot more than before. And instead of paying XY amount to have it digitized, you can get this really nice digitization things now these days. There's quite a variety of products for that, and I can just adapt a macro lens onto it and just, thank you very much, done. So yeah, what else can I say? On colours, yeah, colours on this are quite nice, I have to say. Dynamic range, I've seen better, but you know, it's a micro four thirds sensor, so you expect the dynamic range not to be brilliant, but it's not bad. You just have to expose correctly. I mean, this black and white photos weren't too bad. I have to say, I did have to pull the shadows down a lot. You know, pull the shadows. Even when I pulled the shadows out, I got quite a nice darkish image. It's just when you overexpose, you've got to. That's the one thing I learned from this is expose for the highlights. In other words, use exposure compensation and take the exposure down. That ups your shutter speed or lowers your ISO, whichever, if you're using auto ISO. And at the same time, you're more likely not to blow out those highlights, which is synonymous, I have to say, with micro four thirds micro four thirds cameras. I'll keep you apprised because I am going to go out and try and reshoot some video this week and have a go at processing it on DaVinci Resolve, the free version, because I can't afford the full version yet at the moment. And we'll see where it goes. Well, thank you very much. Until the next one, goodbye.